Get the old calisthenics in.
Rob's Roundtable. What's going on? How you doing?
Doing fantastic today.
Nico here. We're moving on. We've been talking about a lot of rookies.
Yep.
Now we're getting to some ADP talk. We're actually getting into the fantasy year. Super excited. And so he's our new full-time guy. Just to introduce you again. I'm going to keep on doing it all year until you sign that contract. But let's get to know Nico a little bit, huh? A couple questions. We'll do this every episode. Are you circumcised?
Yes.
You are. That was a quick yes.
Most people in the Midwest, I think, are. I think it's
in
pretty
America,
standard.
yeah.
No, not in America.
Oh, really?
No. Like, if you look the numbers up, there's a lot of West Coast that are not.
I don't see you have any notes, but you apparently know a lot of circumstances. Yeah.
Well,
so
we had
your
the
notes on
discussion
that?
when my wife and I were going to have our first kid. We didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl, and we had the discussion, like, circumcised or not. So I did a little research, because I research everything that I have anything to do with in life. It's just how I roll. And I was surprised. Like, I forget now, but 9-10 years ago, when we were pregnant the first time, I want to say, like, half of America at this point isn't circumcised.
It's 50%. And then worldwide, only a third of the world is circumcised?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't ask me why I know this.
Yeah.
Another question for you.
Yeah.
I love how I can never make him uncomfortable. That's what I love about it. Like, because I will do that. What is the name of the person that performs the operation? Do you know?
Surgeon?
No, it's a moil.
What the hell is a moil?
A moil is the person that performs a circumcision.
Well, where am I gonna find a moil?
Well, if you're Jewish, right?
Yeah, well, either way, moil.
I think it's just the doctor.
Is it?
The
You have a moil come in?
No, I don't
wear a
think
yarmulke?
with the curlies?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's the name of the Jewish surgeon? It's a moil. And the thing is, if I was like a trivia host, I'd go to a bar and that's the question I'd have on there.
Right.
And people would be like, who is this fucking guy? Asking the fucking tough questions, you know what I mean?
I want a tiny little guillotine.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is a quarterback ADP talk. We are going on NFC, which is National Football. What is it? National Football Championships.
Yeah, something like that.
High rolling leagues. Probably the only, besides like Underdog, but this is redraft we're talking about. This is probably the only site that is currently going like pretty heavy. People are drafting all year round here, and that's what we're going. We searched it. We did the filter from June 1st till, what is it, the 13th today? 14th?
Yeah, 14th.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks of degenerates drafting, trying to get values, which that's to me the point of early drafting is to try and find values and identify positions or players that are going to be in advantageous positions now before everyone else learns it, right?
Yeah. So this is probably about 30 drafts worth. We're going to talk about where people are going, who we like, who stands out. We're going to do a little shot of Jaeger here to kick it off.
What do you got over there, Alan?
That's the Eiffel Tower.
Uh-oh.
Right?
A little Jägermeister. Good.
Because it's not my birthday.
No.
My birthday, you do a shot out of my belly button.
Oh, all right. It was my daughter's birthday Monday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Rachel.
You can't join in, but there you go.
4 of us wolves running around the desert together, looking for strippers and cocaine.
That brings me back, buddy.
Got there.
How you doing?
All right. Quarterbacks here. Rob's Roundtable. I'm going to kind of do like groups of 3 here. We'll talk about each player if they warrant it. First group here, we have Mahomes going at ADP 10, Allen at 17, Hurts at 19. Now, just to preface this, the scoring on NFC is 6 for a passing touchdown and 20 yards per point. A lot of you probably play 25 yards per point. This is pretty weighted for quarterbacks. Yeah. Also full PPR. So obviously you got to kind of like bump up the pocket quarterbacks here. What do you think? Mahomes 10. That's super fucking early.
The scoring levels the field a little bit more compared to like normal fantasy, where you're going to prioritize those rushing quarterbacks, and then you said with the
4
passing
for a
being
passing
6.
touchdown,
Yeah,
and 25 for
like
a yard.
But
10 is early as shit. Dude.
And these are 12-team drafts.
Yes.
So there's no way I'm ever going to have Mahomes.
At
I'm
10,
not taking a quarterback in
any
the first
of these
round.
top 3 guys, man. Allen 17, Hurts 19. Especially Hurts. I'm sorry, man. He had 20 passing touchdowns last year. Granted, he had 12 rushing touchdowns.
He did.
And he probably will have more passing. It doesn't really matter. That's only 32 total. These other guys will have more, and even the guys later than them will probably have more. So I'm definitely out on Hurts here. But just in general, we'll just talk about general themes here. What do you think about each of these guys?
I think I'm not going to end up with any of them. I don't take quarterback in the first 2 rounds. It doesn't make sense. You've got position scarcity, right, that drives the value of quarterbacks and tight ends down, but that's a whole nother pod. I think nothing much has changed in any of their situations. You haven't seen Kansas City do much of anything on the offensive side of the ball to impact Mahomes, in my opinion. Just the next throw in the receiver name fit here, right? Nothing special. Allen, Diggs is there. If they were to land a Hopkins, maybe I'd consider Allen with his rushing upside. But I also feel like they're going to dial that back with Damian Harris there. Or at least they should to avoid getting him all banged up.
So I also have here where they go, the earliest and latest they've gone. So Mahomes was earliest 6, latest 17. Allen was earliest 10, latest 30th. Hurts 11 and 27. And I will say Josh Allen last year had the LCL injury, right? Before that injury, first 6 games, he had 17 passing touchdowns and 4 picks. Yeah. So he was on pace for 50 and 12.
But you got to keep him healthy.
Right.
So dial that rushing back is where I'm at with it. But
so would you have it in this order though? Right now, currently, Mahomes, Allen, Hurts?
Yeah. I think I would. Hurts is a little riskier to me. I shied away from him last year, and it bit me because he had a great year.
But he was going 9th.
But
now it's different.
Yeah. I'd take either one of them in the 3rd. That's where I would start thinking about it, depending on.
Well, you ain't getting here apparently, but I mean, home leagues are different. Every league's different, right? Know your league is one of the biggest things. All right, next guys here. I'm just gonna go 2 guys here, kind of a tier: Burrow and Lamar. So Burrow, granted, it's because it's 6 for passing touchdown. That's why Burrow is as high as he is. Other leagues I've seen he's gone down to like 7 or 8 other sites.
I think Burrow's a steal in standard redraft, personally. I think he's going to have a great year. He's got a fantastic wide receiver group. The running back room is kind of an unknown quantity right now.
Helps him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I like Burrow a lot. I'm hoping to come away with him in a few leagues.
So Burrow's at 27 and Lamar's at 38. Which is, again, I mean, these quarterbacks are all really pushed up, which is kind of weird because these are high-stakes leagues. You think people would be savvier? Because they know the savvy move is a wait on quarterback, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Typically, year to year.
And especially if you're playing with other people that are of that same mindset. Like, I don't know, pick whatever random football pod that you listen to, and they're doing mock drafts. And they talk about their home league, and they talk about the professional
The industry leagues.
The industry leagues, yeah.
Always wait, right?
Quarterbacks are so much later in industry leagues. Well, they tell us that. We're telling you that. Why doesn't the average fan, why haven't they learned this yet? I don't understand. You've got these home leagues, though, where they're going to take their second quarterback before I've gotten my first.
Right. So Burrow, earliest was 15, latest was 53. Someone took Burrow at 15 overall, which is absolutely insane. Lamar, 25, earliest, latest, 48th. So I will have a quick Lamar stat here for you. So Bateman got hurt. Week 4, I believe it was, early week 4. You remember how Lamar started off really well with his full complement, which wasn't even a big complement of receivers, but it was something, really right? It was something. He had his first 3 games, 750 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. And then he got hurt week 12. So his next 8 games, dude, 7 passing touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't really, it's a small sample. The 3 games is a small sample.
It is.
But, I mean, you just see now it's the opposite. He actually has weapons. Whether you like Odell Beckham or not, whether you're a believer in Zay Flowers or not, like, Bateman's coming back. Like, that's way better than he had last year. Healthy Mark Andrews, who had a shoulder injury last year. Man, and, like, he had no running backs either. There was Kenyon Drake back there.
And I'm not sleeping on Likely either.
No, and Likely's another year's experience and a couple of those starts.
And you're lining him up wide. You're going to go in 2 tight end sets. You're going to protect Lamar. You're not going to run as much. We talked about it on the last pod. Greg Roman's finally gone. I think you're going to see more throwing there than you've ever seen out of Lamar in the past. 1, because of the weapons. 2, because of the coordinator. I do like his weapons. There's ifs, right? If Bateman's as healthy as he was to start last year. If OBJ is the same player he was in the playoffs, you know, previously to his injury. He was dominant there.
If they start throwing the ball more with the new OC, right?
And then Flowers, I think, is legit. Him and Addison are 2 of the guys two of the rookies I'm targeting. With
Flowers is versatile. You know, he's a souped-up Curtis Samuel, if you will, which is perfect for this offense, right? Like,
absolutely.
Remember Devin Duvernay had some nice games, and again, they still have Devin Duvernay, which he's not great, but like,
about him.
If he's your 5, last year he was their 1. That's some of those games, bro. Devin Duvernay, he's a fucking special teamer, man.
Duvet cover. That's
seriously. All right, next tier here, 6, 7, and 8, and I love this tier personally, mostly because of one guy we'll get to. Number 6, we have Herbert going 43, Lawrence also going 43, and Fields going 46. So they're all kind of clumped in here. Justin Herbert's my guy this year. He's my guy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Herbert?
I almost want to put Herbert in the tier above.
Same.
If I'm being honest,
Same.
like that's where I'm liking him at.
Yeah. I just left him in this tier because it's 43, 43, 46.
Yeah.
The other guys were 27 and 38.
So with where they're going, he's a good value right there. I like the offense out there. They added another weapon in Johnston. If those other two receivers and Williams and Allen can stay healthy, Herbert can sling it. He throws a ton of times. It's volume. It's opportunity. The other one, I think people, I don't know, maybe they're not now that I'm seeing this, but I think people are going to sleep on Trevor Lawrence and not realize how good he was
not
last
here
year.
because he's going 43.
But, yeah, apparently they're not. And with getting Ridley into that offense too, they're only going to be better. And then Fields, he should have broke the rushing record last year. I think he's still going to be running for his life quite a bit this year.
Yeah, and he has weapons.
But that's it. He has weapons. Claypool's still not healthy. Mooney's on track, but still not healthy. So that's a little concerning. DJ Moore, true wide receiver 1 that the Bears haven't had in a long time. So if the Bears receiving core gets healthy, Fields continues to take another step in that offense. I like all those guys quite a bit this year.
Yeah. So Justin Herbert's my guy this year, and he had injured wide receivers last year. Keenan Allen missed 9 games right in the heart of the season. Mike Williams only a couple, but he was nicked up. He just didn't show up because he's not a number 1.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Jalen Guyton got hurt in the last game of preseason, I believe, towards ACL, who was their vertical guy. You had Gerald Everett coming in his first year, so it was rough, dude. And also, what we forget is that Justin Herbert broke 3 ribs week 2. So he was playing hurt, and he's a warrior. We know. Remember the end of that game where he would not come out, and he almost won the game for him? He might have won the game for him. He stayed in. He should not have stayed in the game.
No, him and Burrow, I have a lot of respect for.
Love him, dude. Love Herbert.
The dig deep, the dog in him, right?
So everyone's going to give you advanced stats, and I'll give you some advanced stats in a second on him. But what I just said, injured wide receivers and injury to himself, that is the only argument I need.
That's your only argument?
It's the only argument I need, Sean!
To tell you that Justin Herbert's going to ball this year, because we've seen it before. Now, on the other end, I'll give you the nerd stuff, right? Justin Herbert's career touchdown percentage, okay? 5.2%, 5.7%, first 2 years. Last year, 3.6%. He threw 700 passing attempts, 699 last year.
Insane amount of attempts.
And he had 3.6%. If you give him his career average, I know it's a small sample, but it was 2 seasons. When he was younger, he would have had 13 more touchdowns. He had 25 last year. He would have had 38 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Changes everything last year for him, right?
And that's what, like you said, he's hurt. His receivers are hurt. Eckler's the best receiver in half of those games.
So, one strategy I have is I'm not super big into numbers, but you look at the guy's touchdown percentage. It always varies year to year. Aaron Rodgers had some of his worst years at 4%. Traditionally, he's a 6% guy. The next year, he always comes back.
Yeah.
2 MVPs.
They're going to regress to the mean.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to morph kind of back to the average.
That's what they do.
It's the quarterback going back to it. And it's to be said the other way, though. If they're high for a year, it doesn't mean they're going to stay up there.
No,
they're probably
they won't.
going to come back.
They won't. Because look at Jared Goff last year. He should have had a lot more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams had 17.
Yeah.
This year, probably kind of like Jared Goff because it's going to come back. But you just give me a 5% touchdown rate for Herbert this year coming up. He's going to throw 660 passes, right? There's 34 touchdowns. There's
I hope
a steal.
not. I mean, I hope they're in a position to run a little
They
bit
can't
more.
because Austin Eckler isn't a bell cow. They
isn't
don't
a
have a
running
bell
back.
cow.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then Trevor Lawrence, I love him. I loved him last year. He was one of my darlings. Had him everywhere in best ball. It's pretty high, man. Again, you're talking about guys regressing. He might be better in real life, worse in fantasy.
You're taking him at his fantasy peak.
Pretty much, man.
And it's not worth it.
Justin Fields, in this format, 6 passing touchdown. It's kind of the Jalen Hurts thing for me. You're losing some of that equity with the running advantage, right? But I will say, Justin Fields, last 9 games last year, really broke out. You know what he's on pace for? If you sample that out for 17 games, how many rushing yards?
I heard this number, and I don't remember what it was. But
1,600.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, it's unreal.
No one has ever done that before.
But I don't think that's going to be sustainable.
No,
either.
but I'm saying if you do 50% of that, it's 800 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Which he's going to have 800, 900,
All day.
1,000 if he stays healthy.
If he's healthy, he's well over 1,000, I think.
All right, next tier here, we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. We have Deshaun Watson going at 60, Mr. Handjob himself. Dak Prescott, 84. Tua, 95. And Kirk Cousins at 96. So, Watson, that's pretty early.
There's no way.
I know you said you liked him for best ball. I like him too, but he's closer to this other tier than he should be.
Yes.
Dak, he should be going where Dak's going.
I'm willing.
I feel like they're equal.
Yeah. For best ball, I'll take the shot. For redraft, there's no way. I got to see something before I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to miss on Watson if that's where he's going. I know he's got some weapons there. I like Amari Cooper a lot if he can stay healthy. Great run game. Tough division, though. That's a consideration. But I was waiting last year. When was Watson going to knock the rust off, right? And he just never did. Like another full offseason, maybe.
You know how many starts he made last year? 6. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Dude.
In 6 starts. Yeah.
Man, he used to be a guy that had 5 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah, and Dak...
and he had weapons. He had Nick Chubb. Yeah. He had Amari Cooper. He had David Njoku.
Kareem
my
Hunt's
boy.
Even. You want to talk about receiver?
He had weapons, man. And it just... I get it, dude. The rust, the not having familiarity with the team. I get that, but, like... He is the ultimate X factor because at this ADP, man, I could see him finishing up there at 5, 6, or 7, but I could also see him finishing down at 13, 14, 15.
I find it hard to believe he's in the top 5 this year.
Right, just because we talked about the other guys. So he'd be a 6.
Yeah.
That's not that much of a jump from 9. Right, I want to hit a home run. That's like Trevor Lawrence last year, get him at 16, finishes at 8.
And what running back or receiver are you leaving on the board now?
Shit, someone good, man. Someone real good.
Exactly. I don't want anybody in this tier. Dak is solid for the most part. He's got great weapons.
Tua's the guy. Tua's the guy you want because, for me, I'm out of Tua in best ball because I can't replace him.
Yeah.
Right? Redraft. At quarterback 11, you wait, you take Tua. We saw what he was in his healthy games last year, and then even I'm not going to count the other games he was healthy at the end, like the one Green Bay game when he got concussed again,
when he shouldn't have been in there.
And the second half he was throwing picks. Yeah. Like when he was healthy, when he had, there was like a 6-week sample size. And a lot of times what I like to do is take guys, especially in like their second, third, or fourth year, take their best 6 games, and look what it was. Dude, he was on pace. I know it's a small sample for like 58 touchdowns.
But again, what else do you have to go off of?
Right. It's just the weapons and the offense. Yeah. As much as we hate McDaniel as a guy and he's a nerdy.
See, I don't. I don't like McDaniel. Yeah, I just stay quiet last pod about that, but I secretly like McDaniel. But I think he's hilarious, man. I love the way he handles the media.
Yeah, I get it.
He cracks me up, and he's running a Shanahan-esque offense. He was an offensive coordinator that had some success out in San Francisco.
Do you think he's ever date raped a girl?
No, I don't think so.
You don't want to be on record saying that, do you? I was asking you the question. I'm not saying anything there. Last guy, Kirk Cousins, who's the most typical boring number 12. But in a 6-for passing touchdown league, you can do worse than 34 touchdowns, apparently.
Yeah.
Now they don't have Dalvin Cook?
They don't, and they're not going to have a run game, and they're going to be throwing a lot. There's going to be some volume there, but I just have a hard time buying into Cousins ever.
Because he's just not sexy, man.
I don't even want to look at my roster and go, I'm starting Kirk Cousins. Like, I'm not excited.
He's not sexy. He is the average girl that'll let you do everything, dude. Everything. You know what I'm saying?
That?
Over and over and over and over, and that's what he just says or she just says. You like that? You like that? I'm like, talk dirty to me, baby. But you know what? I think I could do better if I go to the bar. But it's probably going to be one time with a rubber.
Yeah.
I don't need to use rubber with Kirk. He's like, you're fine, man. Like, okay.
I'm rolling further back at quarterback. Once I get behind Dak or Tua, I'm just going to wait.
So you want the upside
at that point. Yeah.
We'll go through some of these deep guys here. We have Richardson at 13 somehow. Danny Dimes at 14. Geno Smith at 15. Jared Goff at 16. Aaron Rodgers at 17 in a 6-for passing touchdown format. Weird. And then Russell Wilson at 18. So what do you think, man?
To me, Danny Dimes had a 1-year resurgence in Daboll's offense. Does he continue it? I don't know. Does Saquon hold out? I don't know. I'm not buying in yet. Again, same as Watson. I'm willing to be wrong and miss a year of that. I'm going to pass on that. Geno, I think, is a bit of a fluke. Goff, those touchdowns got to go somewhere that Williams had, right? And I don't think it's the running backs.
You're just trying to take my point? I just said that.
And if it's Gibbs, maybe, right?
Yeah. But those would be passing, most likely.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm okay with Goff. Rodgers, I don't know what's wrong with people, man. I'm all in on that.
He should be 13.
I'm targeting.
He should be 12, right?
If I can get him there, all
Kirk
day.
Cousins or Aaron Rodgers?
Rodgers, easily.
Now I'd say Cousins probably has a higher floor, just because we know what Kirk Cousins is. No, the landing spot hasn't changed. The upside is 2 years ago, back-to-back MVPs, Aaron fucking Rodgers.
And Cousins arguably has the best receiver in the game right now, but if defenses can focus
Rodgers
and take
has some
Jefferson
weapons,
out,
man.
what else
if
does
Brees
Vikings
Hall
have?
comes back, dude, he's got some weapons.
But that's my point. Is Vikings have one weapon. If you take Jefferson out,
yeah,
what
he
else
could get
is
hurt?
there?
You know, I mean,
so I don't trust.
Well, they have
it
T.J.
where-
Hawkinson.
Yeah. Okay. The receiver room in New York, Rodgers has got some familiarity, right? They brought Lazard in, Cobb for whatever reason. Yeah. You've got Wilson out there, who's fantastic. I know they traded Moore away. I like his spot over in, was it Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Where Moore ended up.
I love Moore.
Who's the receiver I'm forgetting in New York, though? It's Lazard,
McCall Hardman.
Wilson.
They have McCall Hardman, yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's
one.
a nice deep threat, man.
Yeah, no, I like those weapons. I like the running backs. You got Carter with dump-offs, which Rodgers doesn't do a ton of, but if Hall gets healthy, plus that defense is going to be amazing. And they keep putting resources in that old line. Keeps getting banged up, unfortunately. Right. That line gets hurt a lot. But if that line stays healthy, and we all know if you give Rodgers enough time and a six-point passing, all day.
And it's like people always say, oh, a good defense hurts the quarterback. It does until it doesn't, because when you're up 21-14, 21-10, and they're playing against the run, and you have Aaron Rodgers audibling in an FU mode, right? Yep. What do you get? You get a 60-yard bomb to McCall Hardman's what you're getting. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're going to get him running it up. Yeah. You know, and again, this is like Tom Brady. I'm not saying this is the same situation, but remember Tom Brady after the Deflategate when it was like, I'm not saying they're going to be that good. I'm just saying, like, dude, it could happen where he's, when they have a good game, it's not going to be just let's run the ball. We're going to fucking step on your throat. Aaron Rodgers wants to piss off the Packers.
Never let off the throttle. Show how great he still can be. Rub it in the Packers' face. You know,
it's just an X factor that the other, like Kirk Cousins doesn't have. No. Because we know Kirk Cousins can't do these things. And last guy I want to talk about, though, that I didn't mention was Matt Stafford. And this is more of a best ball thing, but not even, man. If I want to take a Tua Tagovailoa, right, who I like, but I'm not into rostering two quarterbacks. But a guy to keep an eye on is Matt Stafford, quarterback fucking 22. He's 2 years removed, just one season fully playing removed from 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Yeah. And their defense is way worse. Yep. Again, a situation where they had a good defense. It didn't necessarily hurt him because he had 50 passing touchdowns. Yeah, it didn't. No, sorry, 40 and 5,000 yards. But that was quarterback 3.
You still got Cooper Kupp.
Yep. And
he hasn't gone anywhere.
What else do you need? You know, he got Tyler Higbee. But he's got Sean McVay.
You're not going to be running the ball.
Having Cooper Kupp and having a, top 3 offensive mind in the game. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. I like Sean McVay. He went to 2 Super Bowls. He went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. It was Sean McVay, man, and like this is their last swan song. It could go really bad. And the same thing with Tua. It could go really bad, get hurt. But like that's a guy at quarterback 22. I want him over Russell Wilson. I think I put him up there with I want him over Danny Dimes. I can't even say his name. Right? Dimes or Matt Stafford in a 6-yard passing touchdown league, man. Danny Dimes doesn't fucking throw touchdowns.
No, he doesn't, dude.
So, like, give me Matt Stafford, the upside.
I'll wait, and I'll take the shot on Stafford.
There you go.
And or Wilson. I think with having Sean Payton.
The unknown. There you go.
Coach
good coach, man.
They've got some good offensive players. I'll take the shot on Wilson, too. A lot of people are going to have recency bias on him. They're going to have just been burned last year. I was one of them. Like, I had him and Brady walking away from a few drafts, and I'm fucking ecstatic, right?
Derek Carr, same kind of situation last year.
And I got burned, but it doesn't mean I'll take another shot on Wilson this year.
Yeah. All right, awesome. That was quarterbacks. We will be back with tight ends in a little while.
We've had 2 tight ends here the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's been a complete joy.
Monkey's out of the bottle, man.
What?
Yeah.
That's not even an expression.
Pandora doesn't go back in the box. He only comes out.